In 2.7 official, we have a new enhancement, automatic ALM defects opening. By this enhancement, we are giving to end user possibility to open the defects for issues and failures that end user has been faced. As we know, currently testers that are using Ginger and all should open defects manually in ALM, QC, RQM, and so on. In many cases, that it's multiple defects for different environments, applications, run sets, and so on. So all this we now able to help with this and save the time and the effort that was spent on this before. So key features of ALM defects opening. Now user able to create predefined defect profile in the Ginger that actually is the set of fields and values that retrieved from the ALM and predefined by the user. With this set of values, new defect in ALM will be opened. We perform this defect open in two ways. It likes automatic way that is done by a new operation that we are adding to the run set. By this automatic way, we have two options: to open the defects for all issues, or to open the defects for issues that we marked in advance, like to be problematical issues, and only if these issues have some specific flag. I will show you in later. For such failures, defect will be opened. And the second way is to finish the execution by run set. We add a new tab with a list of all failures that user faced due to execution. With this table, user able to review the issues, to see the screenshot of the issues, and decide according to the data and his understanding if for some specific issues defect should be open or not. Okay, let's see how it's looks like in the Ginger itself. First of all, the defect profile screen. This is the screen where we are managing the ALM defect profiles. At the top part, we have list of profiles. Per each profile, we have list of fields and selected values. For example, let's create new profiles. New profile. Profile demo. Some profile demo description. Okay, it's we set it as default. It means this profile will be chosen by default by running the new operation. Let's change some values. As you can see, values here are mandatory values we should populate. We're not given possibility to save a profile without populating the mandatory files. Fields that are not mandatory can be populated and can be not. This is for you to decide. Okay, let's choose something. Okay, let's save this and use in the defects opening. I prepared some business flow. This business flow was exported from the ALM. This is how we also have reference to the ALM. In next phase, it will be linkage between defects and test cases inside the ALM. Okay, I added this business flow to the run set. Let's add a new operation called automated ALM defects opening. Here we can see two options. As I said, to open defects for all failures that we will face during the execution, and open defects only for failures that was marked in advance. Okay. Let's do the execution with opening defects for all failures. It will take a few minutes. Sorry for this delay. It's simple flow, just to open some Amazon and try to set value for text box that not exist. I will fail on this 4 times.
Or can you explain what will happen in the backend right after the execution?
Yes, in the backend, per each file, the Ginger going to the per each failure in this case with the operation open ALM defects for all failures. Ginger goes to the RQM to the ALM. In our case, it's QC, and this QC is connected to the Ginger, and it should be connected in something that maybe should be saying here. ALM connection settings. I believe that you're familiar with this stuff. In advance, this data should be populated. If you forgot to populate it, it will be a warning message, and I will turn, and the code will turn you to this connection screen. Okay, so as for now, the execution ends, and you remember we said here open defects for all failures. So that's actually what happened. You see ALM defects ID here. This is the list of failures that we faced during the execution, and for all of them directly ALM defects was opened. Let's review the opened defects. I have QC opened already. Okay, so you see we have 4 new defects opened. They are corresponding with the ALM defects IDs. Let's see, let's look on this one. So how it's done? Summary. Summary is built from business flow name, activity group, activity, and the action name, and the timestamp of the failure. In description, you can see a name of run set, business flow, activity group, activity, and specific action that failed. It's marked by red color, and everything that failed in a hierarchy form is marked with a failed word. Okay, and as you can see, description is different per each defect, is according to names of actions and so on. Also data is the data, I mean also values of the fields is the data that we chose in the profiles. So you can play with this easily. For example, you did the execution, your run set is done for different environment 2 times, I don't know, so you can choose the profile name here easily. Okay, this is one of the way of to run automatically. Let's see the second way to run automatically is opening defects only for actions that marked in advance like problematic actions. I'm selecting here the radio box. Let's save. Doing additional executions, additional execution. Okay, as you can see, now we have two new additional defects, but they opened only for actions. Let's look on these actions, only for actions that have in flow control specific flag. You see set failure to be auto open defect. And this flag is in use only if this action was failed. Okay, so this is the second way to open automatically. Let's look on the way so-called manual. It's not really manual because you are not going to open something in the ALM, but you manually will examine the data before the defect will be opened. Let's remove the operation. Okay, do additional save. I'm rerunning. This is for one last time. I'm doing the rerun. Okay, execution is finished. Now we can see 4 failures, but as you can see, ALM defect ID here is empty. It's because we not use any automatical way to open them. The use case in such case, user should examine the failures. Here we have error details and extra error details of failure in run set. In our case it's the same, but in your case it will be a real explanation about the failure. Also the screenshot of failure, it can be multiple screenshots if it was few actions, and based on this data, user will decide to open the defect in specific case or not. For example, user decided to open the defect only in the case of first failure, and all other failure is not should be a defect. Actually, maybe it's some environment issue, some temporary outage, or I don't know. So by selecting it, user will click open for selected defects in ALM confirmation screen. Now we received the message from ALM that one defect opened. We can see the ID of new defect. Let's examine it. 64. This is our defect. So these all 3 ways that you are guys invited to use now.
Oleg?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it will attach screenshot as well for the error.
At we schedule it to the second phase to attach the screenshots and do the linkage between the defect and the test case in the ALM. Currently in first phase we still not attaching a screenshot, but it's our next task.
Okay, thanks.
Additional questions, please?
Yes, Oleg?
Yes.
What about the error details? Error details exist in the defects or not?
You mean to add error details, for example, as a comments?
Yes, or for this or in description?
Okay, we are also, I will write it for me. We will work on this on the second phase, and in general, we will receive the feedbacks from the users that will start to use this functionality, and we will extend all the related stuff for this.
It's a good idea, guys. Any idea need to be filled in a form of a feature. Okay, we need to get it from you. We need to get the project details, everything. Okay, so any idea you have, please create a feature request.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
Any other question?
Yes.
Oleg, I have a quick question. So, are we assigning it to any developer right now for the defect?
Okay, thanks. In the defect profiles, if your ALM have the field assigned to developer, so you free to populate this field, even if it's not mandatory, and this field will be populated automatically by creating the defect. I'm not sure that in this specific ALM I have such field, can see it, but I believe in your project you have such one. In general, it's a little bit problematic to pretend which developer you are pointing on. So maybe after opening the defect, you will do the assign by you, or decide
they
which.
they can have one profile per developer, and then when you are creating
Yes,
it, you
also
select
it's
different
also
profile.
possible.
Thank you.